Yo, for all those weed smokers out there, today is 420, as I have been reminded several times today from a personal friend of mine. I won't say, hey, you are watching rebrandUS. My name is Anthony Gibson, alongside Kimberly Dow. What's up, Kim?
What's up, everybody?
And we have Adrian, the Ace Stinson. What's up, Ace?
What's happening, world? How y'all doing out there?
Eric Russell.
What's good, everybody?
All right, y'all. So we got a very fun show. We want y'all to be very interactive today. We want y'all to make sure that y'all share this show. We're going to give everybody about 10 seconds to share. In fact, let's do it ourselves. rebrandUS. Share. I'm about to share it right now myself. I'm going to do it while we're on air from my cell phone, if it ever pops up. There we go. All right. So tonight we got a very interesting show brought to you by Talkin Wellness Podcast. They've helped us out with this show quite a bit. So we want to say thank you. We're giving them a shout out a couple times throughout the night. Hey, it's a very interactive show. We want to make sure that y'all have fun with this show tonight. We want to make sure we hear y'all's comments tonight. We want to make sure that y'all are just a part of this broadcast tonight as we are. So I'm going to go ahead and get right on to it. Let's see. First question, I'm going to go ahead and just throw it out.
Man, you just jumping in like that, huh?
We're going to warm up a little bit, just like Ty do. Yeah. All right, so one of the questions that Talkin Wellness Podcast has helped us do with tonight, they said, what is something you feel all people should know or learn? So I'm just going to go ahead and throw that question out. What is something you feel all people should know or at least learn?
I feel like everybody should develop some type of people skills, period, because you have to deal with people throughout life. No matter what field or career that you're in, you have to learn how to deal with people on a certain level and roll with the punches, whatever they throw you, and you need to learn how to get people to do what you need them to do. I'm
telling you what, people need to learn respect, integrity. People need to learn respect, integrity, have that for themselves, have that for the people around them. You know what? Respect goes so far. If you respect somebody, it allows you to stay in your lane at all times.
All the time. I agree.
I'll say, it's going to be a little deeper, whatever, but I think that for me, people know what they're made for, their purpose, obviously, because we all here to design to do certain things for certain people and in certain people's lives. But the other thing is learn how to love. Learn how to love is, we say that word so easily, so forgivingly even, but we don't really know what that word means. God shows us what the word truly means. It's not a passive word, it's an action word, right? So how do you show love to people and learn how to love people the way you want to love?
Right. It's a little simpler than that with me. I just think that everybody should learn the words to the theme song for different strokes. I just think that'll solve a lot of things. I think any situation that can calm you, can relax you, or it can express you, either way it goes. So I think that ought to really be taught in grade school. By the time you're in the third grade, you ought to be able to recite that. They got nothing but the genes.
That's called a coping skill.
I think they ought to be able to recite that theme song.
So we're talking about trust. When you think about trust, like, do you trust people until they can't be trusted, or do you make people earn your trust, or are you like me? Do you start in the middle and give them an option to go up or go down, depending on how they act towards you? How do y'all feel about that trust word?
I start in the middle. Me personally, I try to give everybody sort of. Unless some people, they get that vibe right off, and you like, please. But for the most part, you start in the middle. I'm not gonna judge and let them determine, what path they're gonna go on.
All right, you're with rebrandUS. Hey, y'all, be sure to share. Pause what you're doing right now. Get your phone, push that share button. Share. Let's have fun. All right. So we want this to be an interactive show.
Yeah. Okay. And we've got a couple of comments already too.
All right. Let's go to the comments because I can't. They're not pulling up apparently. I thought we'd fixed it. I even got in contact with the help desk.
That's okay. We're gonna be all right, y'all. We're gonna shout you out, and we're gonna read off what you put and everything. So don't even worry about that. We've got it tonight.
Well, let's go to the comments then.
shout out to Hershon Lewis. And
What up, Hershon?
He said empathy is something that everybody needs to learn, you know. And I agree, Hershon. I think that's a great characteristic that everybody needs to develop, because to learn how to deal with people, you have to put yourself in that place and know how another person feels, you know, as well. So also shout out to Ty Hulsey. He said, "Hey guys."
What's up, Ty? Thank you for tonight's show, Ty.
Yes, appreciate you. Also, Sandra Presents Healing out of Greenville, Texas. Hey, Sandra. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We sure appreciate your support tonight. So interact, y'all. Ask whatever you want to ask. Say whatever you want to say. We're going to shout you out.
All right, so let's jump to, we don't really talk about dating. rebrandUS is all about social issues and, you know, the Black world, basically. But a man with potential versus a man who is financially secure. What are your thoughts, Kim? Do you want a man with potential? Do you want a man who's financially secure? And then I'm gonna ask the same thing to you fellas. Do you want a woman with potential, a woman that's financially secure? How do you get into relationships?
I think, you know, I think a man has to possess a smorgasbord of different characteristics. It's not just one characteristic that makes a man. I think, you know, the variety, you know, it's just kind of like whenever they say, you know, you're good at a lot of things, you know, a jack of all trades, but a master of none. You know, you have to possess a lot of different characteristics to make a whole man, you know. So you have to have potential. You have to have some kind of motivation. You have to be motivated. You have to be innovative. You have to have some kind of financial literacy, because if you're gonna lead a household, you know, as the Bible says, then you need to possess those characteristics for sure.
I think for me, for a woman, obviously at this stage, I think the potential is more important for me, and the potential to be able to motivate. You know what I'm saying? Motivate me to be even a better person, a better man. I think most men can attest to this, that, you know, a woman can not necessarily make you or break you, but it definitely can push you to another level that you may not ever get to without that right woman beside you. So I think the potential of a woman to be supportive and to be able to influence a man in really good ways, I think that's the potential that I'm looking for when I'm looking for women. Mm-hmm. When I was looking for women.
What's financial literacy, Kim?
Just to know how to save money and to use the money and to spend the money that you make, your hard-earned money, for the better of the household. And your
so let me ask this, Kim. So let's say the guy making let's say about $12 an hour, right? But he's living okay.
Her face changed. Wait, her face changed when you said that.
Don't you worry about my face.
I'm just saying, $12 an hour, live in a decent apartment in the hood or whatever, so he can afford it. Got a decent car, all that good stuff like that. His money management is good. So his financial literacy, while you're speaking about, is excellent. Uh-huh. But when it's all said and done, he don't have anything to really show for it at the end. The bank account have about $1,000 at the end of the month every month. That's where he's at. But he's good because he got everything paid for. Does that still hold the same weight?
Yeah, I think it really does. You know, I am not a materialistic woman. I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm not a materialistic person. I like nice things, of course. You know, I work for everything that I have, you know, and I'm proud of everything that I have. And I'm sure that that man would be just as proud of everything that he has as well. But it doesn't matter really how much money you have. Is, you know, I feel like if you do the right thing with your money and look towards your future, then eventually all of that will pan out and you can provide for your family and look toward the future as well. I mean, and looking toward the future, you can have a man that has lots of money that does not know what to do with it, and still be broke.
That's true.
So,
okay,
yeah, that's how.
You was kind of.
What about you guys? How do y'all feel about it? Do you want a woman that's already financially stable, or do you want to be able to teach your woman how to spend her money and save her money, and let's put something with something and make something? How do y'all feel about it?
Well, a great poet once wrote, and a great performer once sung the lyrics, "Without love, it ain't much." Shouts out to Prince Rogers Nelson and Miss Lee. Fabulous life, by the way. That's kind of a tricky one. Definitely, there's not a must on the financial stable part, like coming in. The potential part is enough. The potential is there. Like the willingness to say, okay, I'll try this, or okay, let's do this. Things like that. So, would it be great, to walk into Oprah? Oh, of course it would be. But if not, if the potential is there, that's good as well, especially dealing with a good person.
You know what? I think I like the yin and the yang. Somebody clicking their pen, they can put their pen down. That'll be very nice. I think that I like the yin and yang of relationships, but I like the respect of it. Meaning, like, if you're terrible with money and I'm good, respect the fact that I'm good, and respect the fact that you're terrible. And let me be the good of it. If you're good with cleaning and I'm bad, whatever. I know that sounds kind of sexist, but my point is, wherever I'm good and wherever you're bad, understand where we are. And to me, I think that's how you get some growth in a relationship. So financial literacy is not necessarily something she just has to have. It'd be great if she did, but it's something that I would love for her to, acknowledge that if I'm better than her, then we can grow through my life, not my knowledge. Boy, I really started over that one.
It's the push and the pull, it's the push and the pull. And I think that's what puts the flag in the middle, per se, whenever, you have the right amount of push and the right amount of pull from either side. I think that's what kind of evens everything out. Let's go to the comments right quick. We got a couple of comments, y'all. Shout out to Taisha Thomas that's watching, and Jermaine Givens as well. David Graves, shout out to David Graves. He's our classmate. Okay. He's making fun of me by saying smorgasbord, y'all.
That's a $10 word right there.
Stephanie Ivy, shout out to Stephanie. She's been a past guest a couple of times on our show. She said, waiting for someone to reach their potential can leave you disappointed. David Graves says, potential is like talent. Without drive, it doesn't go far. Shout out to Leonard McDonald. He said that I said all of that, and in my mind, I'm singing No Scrubs. Well, I'm singing that.
Hey, we can't skip over Sandra Presents Healing. This is her first time tuning in to the show.
I just shouted her out. Well, I don't know where you were.
But did you shout out this her first time tuning into the show?
Clicking on that pin.
No, but yeah. Sandra, thanks for tuning in. It's your first time. I hope you enjoy us, and I hope it won't be your last time.
Nah, that wasn't sincere. I don't think that was sincere right there.
Well, you don't even know her. She knows me.
It had the potential to be sincere, but it wasn't. It wasn't sincere.
Kind of going off what
sincerity. Hey,
so,
I don't owe explanation because.
Hey, I understand you got a smorgasbord of emotions.
Spell it.
I barely pronounce it. It's kind of like Worcestershire sauce.
Hey, go back to what somebody said. I can't remember who said the statement, but you go back to the expectations or whatever, and you can leave yourself disappointed. I think that was Stephanie.
She said, waiting for someone to reach their potential can leave you disappointed. I
totally agree with that. So I heard a statement, and it went something like this, as it pertains to expectations. You have to kind of have to put this expectation on yourself, I guess, basically. So you have to manage your own expectations. So you put that on other people, you're definitely going to be disappointed most of the time, as opposed to none of the times. So I would say that's definitely true. I think if you have to be really, really mindful about what you put on people, what you expect from people. So, but it's good to have communication about what you expect from people. But understand they are who they are, and they may or may not change.
Are expectations the same thing as potential? I mean,
not necessarily.
Yeah,
not necessarily.
So,
but if you put your expectation into the potential that you see in that person could be, that's where they kind of align. But they really are not the same thing, though.
But see, expectation and potential don't work together. My expectations of you and your drive and that potential that I see don't necessarily come together. You may not have any drive. You may have all the potential in the world, but no drive, and you may be a quitter and all those things. And then you start. And I know people who they do well by themselves, but once they attach themselves to someone else, they rely on that other person quite a bit, and so it don't quite measure up to where it could be. So I'm with you, Stephanie. No, you leave yourself disappointed.
Right.
Yeah, but,
so how do y'all feel about women? I mean, I'm
I love
strong. Well, I hope so. So But I'm a pretty strong-minded woman, but that doesn't, does that mean that I'm opinionated? And how do you feel about opinionated women, versus a woman with an attitude, what's the difference? Is there a difference?
Opinionated women and an attitude is not the same thing. I want you to have an opinion.
Definitely.
Because if you got an opinion, first of all, I don't know everything, right? I'm the leader of this situation, but in this relationship, I should be. I'm the man. If we got to have a leader, I'm the man. If I'm leading a situation, you follow my lead. But if you know more than I do in a certain situation, if you've been here before, I've never been here. Because life takes you to places you've never been before. And if you've been here and I haven't, well, I'm gonna follow your lead at this point, right? You got an opinion. It's your opinionated person. But if you're talking about like an overly opinionated person, they're opinionated about every situation. Nobody want to hear all that. But an attitude, because now you can't tell the difference between that and an attitude.
You got a problem with the way you post cereal. Why are you holding it with your right hand?
Yeah, that's the attitude right there. It's how you say something. That's the attitude piece right there. So I look at it like this. You can say anything you want to me, but as long as you do it in a way that's respectful, going back to what Anthony said earlier, respect piece. If you can't say respectful or somewhere I can hear it, then that can be an attitude very easily at that point. Even something not disrespectful, but you say it with a very disrespectful tone, it can become an attitude at that point.
Well, and remember the Titans, they said attitude reflects leadership. So is attitude a negative thing?
No.
I think it's a positive thing.
It can be. It depends on.
It's the positive and the negative. So you got the two sides. It's the positive and the negative, because you can have a lot of positive attitudes, and it's okay if this one the negative come in. That's the problem.
So
I don't agree with that statement anymore. I think back in the 70s and 80s that probably was true, maybe even in the 90s, but I don't think now that statement is even true. I don't think attitude really reflect leadership, because everybody is opinionated now. Everybody has an opinion about everything now. So I feel like.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying, so I feel like everybody that statement is less true than it was 20, 30 years ago.
Well, that attitude reflects leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So what reflects leadership then?
It could be anything at that point. So, for example, let's say you were married and your wife, and you have a really positive attitude, but your wife doesn't, or vice versa. So he's saying, but her attitude reflects what you do as a leader. That happens a lot. I've seen that a lot. So as I'm saying, I don't think you can say that necessarily it's very consistent throughout relationships. You can see sometimes where you get a positive male role model, a positive female role model, and they can kind of go together. But typically speaking, when you hear about relationships, that's not the case.
So Anthony, based off of what your reply was, so what are you saying? Are you saying that your partner can only be opinionated or have an opinion by certain issues, or not everything, or what?
No, I mean, I think you can have an opinion about everything, because your opinion might be stronger than my opinion, my thoughts. Your expectations are, my expectations of this may change after I hear some of your opinions. So I think that it's, but let's go back to attitude. See, attitude, when people hear the word attitude, the first thing they think is negative. Bad attitude. It could be a good attitude. An attitude may be reflecting leadership. It may not, not to go against what Eric was saying for a minute. I'm just saying it could be. I don't know what it is. But the first thing I hear, so what's more important? I forgot what the question was, but I guess I would write, if it's a good attitude, I want the good attitude over an opinionated person. I was having a conversation with someone earlier today, and they said, if you play the thing right, you have a good attitude all the time, you can change people's minds and make them do what you want by you having a good attitude. So it depends. It didn't say bad attitude in the question that you asked, I don't think, but it depends. And we're talking bad attitude. No, I don't want that. I'd rather you be opinionated. I'll be opinionated and we'll figure it out.
Attitude also can mean just simple as like what you're doing throughout the day. Just like I'm gonna have a positive attitude about it, and it got to be how you respond to everything. It's different ways to look at attitude anyway. So I agree with you on that, Anthony. In regards to people typically automatically go to that negative attitude piece, but that's where we're living. How do you change that?
Do you think like an alpha females or alpha males, do they automatically have an attitude? Do you perceive that as them having an attitude or no?
Let's go to the comments and see what they say.
Or is it just leadership skills?
I think it's leadership, because that alpha word doesn't necessarily mean dominance. Is more than it means stepping up to the plate. You know, so it doesn't mean like dominate, total domination. You know, some people, they hear that word, you know, that's where it takes them to. But I think it's more of a stepping up to the plate and being accountable thing.
All right, I'm going to the comments. Toya Q Jacobs Phelps. Well, she got a whole lot of names. What's the Q stand for? So she says, so is it that you can have an opinion about everything, but you shouldn't speak your opinion on every situation?
Could be. It could be.
She said, unfortunately, it seems like when a woman has a strong opinion about something, she has an attitude. It's misinterpreted, is what she said.
No, it's not the strong opinion. It's the strong everything that comes with it around this. It's not the opinion. It's the delivery. It's the strong delivery.
Like, go back to that. Go ahead, Kim.
So I can reply to something and say, "Hey, I don't see it that way. This is how I feel about it, or whatever," without having any kind of emotion with it, and I'm still going to be labeled as opinionated.
Oh no, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, the delivery, like I said, you know, like everything doesn't have to have a lip smack, neck roll, finger pop, hand on the hip. You know, some things just express it.
It's your, like, who said it's your delivery? Was it you, Eric?
I said it.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I mean,
I piggybacked off of
yeah.
it.
Coming up in a little bit, we're gonna have some T-shirts to give out. I don't know what reminded me of that at that moment, but hey, if you want your T-shirt, Kim, you know what? Let's take a break after I say this. But let's take a break and talk about these T-shirts here in just a bit. But it's your delivery that determines if it's an opinion, if it's a negative attitude, or how, you know, because you could just so calmly say what you need to say, and I don't even think attitude. It's not even in the question. You know, it's now just a conversation on trying to sort through things, right? So now it's neither an opinion or a conversation. It's here's a different option, you know, in a situation. I do that with my male friends, you know, because I mean, if you come and somebody say, "Oh, no, man, that ain't right. Oh, I disagree." Now, obviously, that's an attitude and it's opinion. Now, but Eric, I see Eric do a lot of times. He said, "Why don't you think about it this way?" And so then all of a sudden it just kind of makes you think, okay. And so I don't feel the kind of way about that. I don't feel any kind of way. So I think, you know, it's certain words have certain power, and you steer away from many of those words. And then opinion is not even a word, you know, it don't even come to play at that point.
I think attitude, you know, it is your tone, it is your facial expression, your body language as well, you know. Because you can be on the phone with someone and sense whether they have a negative attitude or not, you know.
All caps on the text.
Yeah, all caps on the text.
Did you all cap me?
So shout out to Kayleen. Hey, girl, hey.
All right.
She wanted to say, you know, she said it's the tone that makes the opinion unwelcomed. Ty says attitude is a demeanor, a gesture, facial expressions, body language, and tone. David Graves says, unfortunately, negativity is more contagious than positivity. And Latoya says, I agree with you, Kayleen Ward-Guillory. Stephanie says, we can't speak passionately without it being interpreted as aggressive.
No, you can. It's a difference. Definitely, passion is accepted. It's not that. It's one of those fine lines, you know, and that's the problem. It's a real fine line. And I think what happens is, all women get the bad rap for some women.
Well, before you finish that statement, Ace, does it matter if you're in a relationship versus a coworker or at work type situation?
Yes.
Every relationship makes a difference.
I'll tell you this one thing. I'll you know, I might take something off of my wife, but I'm not. We ain't got no attachment, no relationship, so like that. I might like literally.
I might have back to Stephanie. Stephanie said we can't speak passionately without it being interpreted as aggressive. So if a woman speaks passionately to her husband, is that considered aggressive? Or if a woman speaks passionately to her work coworker, whatever, boss, is that the same? Is it the same reaction?
It should be.
Yeah, and like I said, I think what it is, it's a fine line there, and I think that some women I think a lot of women get a bad rap because of, you know, a small portion of other women. So passionate is one thing, and usually when somebody's speaking passionately about something, it's in that situation, so you can understand that, because the situation you're in, they're speaking about it. But with attitude, you can understand that as well. When something comes across as an attitude, like Kim, you and Ty both said, it's everything that comes along with it. It's the gestures, the facial expressions.
Ty said I stole his comment. I didn't see it.
She's trying to steal his fame.
You said Tybo. I thought you said Tybo. I was about to ask where you were going with this. All right. Hey, look, in a few minutes, coming up, we're going to be talking about T-shirts. We got, this is not the shirt. Kim got the shirts. We have lots of shirts. Some we're giving away, some we're doing other things with. I'm gonna let Kim talk a little bit more about that, but we got more questions. Hey, Todd, thank you for these questions. This is coming from you all the way from Talkin Wellness Podcast. Y'all be sure to check them out. They have a great show over there. They've been over here many a times. Also, what is something you know you need to do, but you keep putting off? I want y'all to think about that after Kim comes back with these T-shirts. What is something you know you need to do? You out in the audience, tell us something you know you need to do, but you keep putting it off. Something that'll make you better as a person. Kim.
So something that I know that I need to do that I will make up any kind of excuse to keep from. I'm sorry y'all. Something that I know that I need to is getting my bachelor's degree. It's something that can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. Is getting my bachelor's degree. I mean, and just going ahead and knocking that out. But I keep putting it off and keep putting it off. Well, I'm done doing that. So I just feel like basically going after what I know I deserve, basically.
Well, I threw it over to you so you could talk a little bit more about the T-shirts. But hey, we appreciate you.
Alfred,
I actually thought we were gonna go to a commercial or something before.
Hey, I was like, boy, that's a long message on the T-shirt. She had to turn around. She had to show that and then turn around.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, okay. So we finally got our rebrandUS T-shirts in, y'all. There are the black, actually the red, the yellow, and green T-shirt. It actually has our tag on there, the rebrandUS. So these shirts are short sleeve, okay? Very good quality shirt. Mine has not faded yet, and y'all have seen it several times on our podcast. We also have it in white as well. So Juneteenth is coming up, y'all, and these colors are very colorful. Of course, white would be cool for the summertime, and just to support a rebrandUS podcast. If you want one, inbox me. They're going to be $20 a piece. So just go ahead and inbox me, and I'll go ahead and get it shipped out to you.
Tell them how they can get one.
And have it by next week. And I have Cash App, and maybe we can explore some other ways for you paying for the shirt whenever you inbox me. So just inbox me, Kimberly Dial, on Facebook. And we'll make sure that you get taken care of.
For all the single guys out there, that's for shirts only. We don't just inbox for nothing else. Just shirts.
So just the shirts, huh?
Just the shirts.
But I tell you what, we're giving away T-shirts for free also. How can you get a T-shirt for free? First of all, we are sitting at like almost 1,000 members on
rebrandUS. 1,000.
Say it one more time, Ace.
1,000.
We're sitting at 1,000, and whoever sends the most, I guess their friends the most. What
you have
is
to
it?
add
Invite.
Them. Yes.
Invite whoever invite the most friends in the next 7 days. Well, yeah, 7 days next week. We will then announce the top 2 people who will. That's been a little bit who will get a T-shirt. So please go and just start sharing it.
Now we have to throw this disclaimer in. If it's a tie, we're gonna give you guys opportunity to decide. One of y'all can have a shirt on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. One of y'all can have it on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Hey, what is something you know you need to do? We got comments coming up. We're gonna go back to the people right after.
Want to bring that curb appeal back to your home or business? Let us help you. Call Ace Power Washing at 469-337-4080 or email us at powerwashingace3@gmail.com. Whether it's sidewalks, driveways, house or building washing, we'll take care of you. Call or email today for your free quote. We'll see you soon.
All right, we back. We don't play very many commercials anymore on this show, so y'all get a whole lot more of us. T-shirts coming. Please invite a lot of people. We can go through it and count it. It'll show us who sent who. That's how we'll know how to do it. The question that was thrown out there is something you know you need to do. Now, of course, we can make this a bigger discussion. We can say, what is something Black people need to do? You know, since rebrandUS is about that. David Grace, we want you to come in also. Hey, let's go to the comments before we get to that question. Tahosi, a person always use passion as an excuse to their aggression. No, you just aggressive. Stephanie. I think he talking. We're gonna see some action in the comments section. Stephanie says, "Yep, Latoya. It depends on the person that's receiving the message." I like it. Y'all keep the comments coming. Ace, Eric, what is something you think that you know you need to do? It could be personal. It could be bigger than that. Let us know.
Get my bachelor's degree. I'm sorry. I'll pay homage to my good friend.
I can't stand
you know what? Really work on get an accountability partner. Like I really I know I should. Accountability one thing I kind of not necessarily run from, maybe jog lightly, and I really need to be more focused on where I'm going and what I'm doing.
Gotcha. That's good. I think I'm gonna say this real quick. I think Anthony, he's aiming for a Topo Chica, whatever he
Topo Chico
to be a sponsor for rebrandUS. If y'all out there, Topo Chico, holla at us. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we love you.
That's
we
great.
love you.
I love it.
Just water.
Just water. It's good water though. It's water. For me, I think it's a lot of things like this. I've been saying I'm gonna do. Losing weight's one thing. I lose it, I gain it, but I mean, if I get to a routine where it's consistent, where I can get to myself, because I'm 40 now, so I know I get to a place where it's got to be healthy, and staying there, not just up and down stuff, not just back and forth stuff, just where it's consistent. Also, too, just start the business or businesses. I've been saying I'm going to start the last 2 or 3 years, just get in there and knock it out and get it done. So those are two things for sure that I want to stop saying I'm gonna do it, just go ahead and do it.
Get into the comments once again. My main man, David Graves. He says, "Give back." I love it, David.
That's great.
That's good.
And you know what? One thing I'll say about Ace give back quite a bit. Him and his family. So we'll give a shout out to that for sure. Let's start giving as his foundation. That's a good one. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about that in a bit. Ace. Latoya Jacobs Phelps. I skipped the Q that time because it's just too many letters. She even got a dash in there. So if a person speaks loudly with hand gestures, would you consider them aggressive or passionate?
Sorry,
Are they automatically seen as being aggressive?
Are they deaf?
I think if I had to do something, and I know we didn't answer that question, Toy, we'll get back to you possibly later. But if I had to do something, I mean, just quit. One thing I hate about myself and other people around me, we always say, I'm finna start. I'm about to start. Man, I'm about to. I hate that. Either I'm going to start doing what it is I say I'm going to start doing, or I'm going to just stop saying I'm about to start doing something. To me, I think that's the thing.
And it's finna a word.
Yeah, I say.
Of course it is. When you below the Mason-Dixon line.
Ain't that part of the culture? Ain't that part of the culture?
That's Texan.
Okay. All right.
You finna get your bachelor's degree, right? You finna learn. You finna learn what these words are today, Jack.
I ain't no softy because doesn't mean I'm being aggressive.
Yeah, look, just because you using 15-letter word, you started off with smorgasbord. Finna is simple, but it's effective.
Everybody take a look at the comments. I'm finna Will Smith, Latoya Q. Jacobs. That's what I'm finna do. All right, let's get back to the topic at hand. What are some signs or things you look for to determine if you need to improve as a friend, a spouse, or a significant other? Let me ask that again. What are some signs or things you look for to determine if you need to improve as a friend, a spouse, or a significant other?
That's I think that self-evaluation is something real deep that we all have to look at. I know a lot of times, Lord has blessed me actually where I have a lot of people around me, and they just give, and a lot of people is because of growing up. I've done so much for people growing up. Sometimes it was situation. It could have been a situation in the streets where I saved somebody or something like that, but. I run into a situation where somebody just want to give me money, or they just want to pay for this or do this, and I never take that for granted. So I always take a look at that and look at what am I giving back, or what I can, hey, maybe I can't financially do this or that, but can I give you my time? Can I do something for you? It's even simple. It's something that you might not be thinking about. Like, hey man, let me get that. Hey, I got $10. I can't buy you a steak lunch, but you want number one from McDonald's? I think that self-evaluation is always something you should look at in any relationship, whether it's friend, marriage, whatever the case may be.
I think if I'm taking hints from other people, I mean, if I see their facial expression always kind of sad around me, or like they're disappointed or mad, something like that, and it's consistent, that's telling me I probably need to do something different with that particular person, right? Or they're verbally saying, "Hey, this is bothering me. I need to actually listen to this." Because sometimes they can say it and it can be just them. But I'm hearing it from my wife, I'm hearing it from my boss, I'm hearing it from a friend. Then once again, it's probably something I need to look at that point. So you got to take hints from all kind of places, but you got to be open, like they saying the self-evaluation piece. If you're not open to the evaluation piece, then you're not going to be able to look at those hints people are giving you, the verbal, even the concrete ones versus the abstract ones.
I think, you got to be a giver at all times. You always got to be giving. I think that's part of who we are. It's not ever receiving. If you're always receiving, if you're always in need, then you got a lot of issues that you need to work out. Your friends, and you're not listening to what your friends are telling you anyway at that point. But you got to be giving a little bit of money, a little of your time, mostly time is what you can give that's most beneficial to people. And I mean, if you simply do that, there's no limits to what your time is that valuable. There's no limits to where you can go with that. And I mean, that's one of the things I do believe. But I read it again. It says, what are signs or things you look for to determine if you need to? And honestly, I don't look for any signs to see if I can be a better friend. You just be the best friend. One of the comments I use all the time, y'all hear me say this all the time, is I'm not looking to get a closer group of friends. I'm looking to strengthen the friends that I have. And if it grows, it grows. And if it shrinks, it shrinks. But whatever I do have, I want for it to be tight and strong. So one of the things you can do is just simply pick up the phone and talk to somebody. Now with Facebook, you send notes to people and all that stuff. You don't get to see them as much as you used to because you have them on Facebook. But I think one of the things you have to do is put forth effort. I don't know if there's a sign. I'm not even going to look for a sign. I don't care if you're sending me signals that you need help all the time. But I am going to do the best I can until you just come right out and say, hey, Dickie, do this for me or whatever.
I don't really think there are any signs. I have had, a friend come to me and tell me, hey, I just don't feel like you were there for me whenever I needed you, so I kind of take that into consideration, like going forward. We kind of worked through all of that. And going forward, I just try to be a little bit more conscious and be a better listener, into what that person really needed at that time. If someone's going through a hard time, they're not just going to automatically come out and say it. You have to kind of learn to read between the lines as well. So,
are you referring to that time I had that foot itch and I needed the powder? I kept asking you to give me the foot powder, but she works at a clinic, and my foot was itching. I really wanted you to. I just wanted to
get my man.
I don't think that was me. I think you got me mixed up with somebody else. But for future going forward, just know that I'm not gonna scratch your foot.
You can't even give my man some fast acting tenactin?
No. Well,
in the future, she's not gonna scratch my foot. That's funny.
I don't work for a podiatrist. It's general surgery. Okay, we can cut it off.
All right, go back to the comments real quick. David Gray says most of us struggle and can be a bit self-absorbed at times and have a hard time putting our crap down so we can notice other people's signs. Or maybe that's just me. No, David, you hit the nail on the head. I love it, man.
Everybody.
I'm so done, says Latoya. I guess we done talked enough about her. Hey, who's more secretive, men or women?
Women.
Women are more secretive?
Entangled, yes.
I think, well, in general, I think men are more secretive. I think women are better at keeping them.
There you go. Right on the head, Eric.
Listen, everybody out there, he's married. Don't let these points. There's nothing he can do with these
Everybody
points he's trying to get.
Y'all, except me.
Well, you know what? Just, let's do this in rebrandUS fashion. Give me your definition of secret. What does secret mean?
Something you want nobody to know.
That's right. That's it.
That's fine.
Something no nobody else know.
So if you got secrets in your phone, is that a secret? Especially if you're married.
It depends on what kind of secrets.
If she
I mean,
can
you don't
simply
want
just put the
anybody else to
code.
know, and it's a reason why you don't want anybody else to know.
Because some secrets have nipples and orifices.
Wow.
Write that down word today.
That's good, Ace. That's good.
This is a family show.
All these big syllable words tonight. What's going on?
Yeah, I got a smorgasbord of words.
So
You know what? I don't think so. I don't think women are more secretive. I think it depends. When it
it's
comes
50-50.
to when it
We're
comes
just better
to
at it.
no, y'all are better at it when it comes to like if you got a side dude or something like that. When a dude got a side chick or whatever, he wants to tell the world, especially if she's good looking.
He needs validation. That's the whole reason anyway. He needs
That's
validation.
the only thing y'all have us on. Everything
We
else
don't
we
need
good.
to be validated, though. That's the thing, you know. If
But that's
we're
what I'm
doing
saying.
something, we're doing it because we enjoy doing it, and no one else has to be involved.
But that tells you right there that they're better at it because they have the ability and the functionality to do it. You know what I mean? And they don't need necessarily that hey, I need you to see this. You know what I mean?
But that's for extramarital whatever relationship. I'm not talking if I'm starting a business. I don't have to really. If I really am starting a business and not saying I'm about to start it, I don't necessarily need everybody to know that.
No.
Women. What about women? Do y'all need the world to know it? Do y'all? What's the saying? The saying is, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm doing. I'm gonna tell you what I did. Who lives by that a little bit more?
Right. I don't think that women have to share every little move that they're about to make or finna make. You know.
Have you been on Facebook?
So I mean, it's just as many men on Facebook that's sharing what they're doing.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. I think people are sharing other people's business, but not necessarily theirs.
Women sticking together. Toya says, tell it, Kim.
Toya fed up with you, boy.
In my experience with my friends, whatever, we don't feel the need to come and say.
Toya.
We don't feel the need to come and say what we're about to do. I would rather tell you on the back end, hey, I did this, and this is what I'm doing right now. All
right, so
what happens if it falls apart? If your plans fall apart.
If a person has been married 2 or more times, is this a red flag?
Oh, yes.
What if the other spouses died though?
They killing them. It's twice. It's a red flag. That's a burgundy flag. Yeah, I need medical records. So now, how did he die?
I mean, it depends upon the circumstances. People get married young, and so when do you really become your true self? In your 30s, in your 40s?
All I know, you done had 2 chances. You done had 2 chances. Nah, I'm sorry. That's a red flag.
You can never think that you love someone enough to marry them, and then whenever you get married, they turn into a different person. I mean, I talk to married people all the time, and they say that their wife or their husband was somebody different before they married them.
Anthony's stupid.
Your mama must not be watching tonight. If you've been married 3 times, that's a red flag. More than
3
2.
times?
It says more than 2.
It said 2.
2 or 2 or more. 3, more than 3. 2.
That's a red flag because at some point, you got to look at. You can't keep saying she did this or he did this. It's like, okay, what did you do now? You got 2 of them. You can make now 1 of them work.
With the exception of some deaths, being a widow or anything like that.
And we got 2 deaths. I need to know. I need medical records.
Well, I mean, I know a guy right now that got married really, really young, that is no longer with that wife, and got married a second time, and she cheated on him, and they're no longer married.
Red flag.
Are you telling me that he's not a good guy just because?
Why did she cheat?
I don't know.
See,
I don't know why
red flag.
What did the first one do?
Right.
The first one was they were just young. They were just young and didn't even
Can
know.
you
I
really
think they were
blame young on
forced.
being a part of the
Somebody
issue?
cheated. That's the code word for they were just young.
They were
Somebody cheated.
forced. They were basically forced because she got pregnant.
Are they from Africa?
No.
Wow.
I said, I'm sorry.
So
I said it's
So you
red
mean to
flag.
tell me you're gonna judge him because he got his heart broken?
I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna
Wait
judge
a
him.
minute,
I'm just
okay.
saying it's a red flag. A red flag means it has to be reviewed.
What if they've been married to the same person twice the first two times, and then the third time they get married to somebody different?
Now
that
that's
still
not
a-
a flag.
To me, that's moral flag to me.
Yeah, because you're not sure.
Well, because I have close people that I actually know in that situation, and what happened is they realized that they both were being silly, and they both were able to be accountable for their actions, and they swallowed their pride and they got back together. I know people who've actually had 2 weddings, like the same couple. They did it again. I didn't buy no gift. You better believe that for a second. But,
Were you the best man? And you say, "Well, we back."
We back, yeah. You know what I'm telling you?
I posted that on Facebook.
So I think, just because I think we getting confused a little bit too. I think just because we have red flags, I think we all have red flags to some degree. At least if we're honest with ourselves, we do. That doesn't mean you're a bad person though. That doesn't mean you got some stuff you need to get better at. So
definitely.
So I think that's something just the red flag really it's really for the person to realize about themselves. Obviously, it's for the other person in relationship to figure out, do I want to deal with this red flag because this is part of who they are right now. So they may keep this going or they may get better at it. I don't know. But I got to be okay with it if this is what I see now. Let's make it team.
Yeah. So that's what I said. The red flag is just a review. It's not saying like no. It's just like, hey, you better really check this situation.
Well,
All right,
I
let's go.
don't
Hey,
think you
listen.
should. I don't think you should X anybody out because they're still learning. They've had a couple of failures.
Like, Kim,
failed marriages.
aren't you pretty picky though? This saying, Kim, we have conversations.
Mind the business that pays you. Okay.
I'm just doing that.
Well, I guess in a way she's right. It could be a smorgasbord of reasons somebody got divorced.
Hey, y'all, let's go to the comments real quick. David Gray said, "You've been married 9 times. Hell, maybe it's you." Kayleen Warren Guillory says, "Definitely a red flag. Find yourself." Latoya Q Jacobs, Phelps. I don't. The name is longer than the comment. She said, "Ty Hosey, log off now." Ty Hosey said, and Kim, I'm gonna let you read what Ty said.
Wait a minute. I don't think I can see it. Hold on.
Well, we'll wait.
I'm having
Wow.
some issues.
Yeah,
Oh,
she have no issue. She just logged
Yes,
off.
I am. The only thing I can see was when David said "give back." That's the last thing I can see.
Well, I'll read Ty. He said, shoot, I'm gonna marry till I get it right. The other times I was just playing.
That's funny.
He said, "Kim, I would marry Kim more than once."
There you go.
You make a lot more than one mistake. All right.
Now, at our age, like health is a big thing. I see everybody around me that's really trying to get healthy. What does healthy mean to you? What does it look like to you?
I think healthy doesn't really have a look. I think healthy has to do with the quality of life.
Okay.
And that's the big thing. I definitely, I'm a constant working on my health as far as quality of life. I'm not a swimsuit model. Not saying I ain't sexy, everybody out there. But I'm far away from where I was, and it's just that quality of life, and it's not always weight, but just that your knees not feeling like you're 80 years old when you walk, or not having to get an oxygen machine because you had to bend over and tie your shoes, and being able to rest and stuff like that, so it's quality of life.
The funny thing about health is I was sitting around talking to some people one time, and they asked if you could have anything right now, what would it be? My number one thing is give me wisdom over anything. And most people will start saying money and all that stuff, but I think number 2 would be health. Give me great health at all times. Money would be like maybe 4 or 5. It wouldn't even be number 3 necessarily, because and you're strange. You don't understand how bad health can be until you start looking in the healthcare industry. Kim, you're in there. Ace, you're in there. And so, for example, a friend of mine, she's a professional. She's a nurse or social worker maybe, but she was a nurse. She told me she would much rather have HIV than to have diabetes.
I remember that conversation.
HIV, and that's, I mean, if you go back to 1991, you'd be like, what? What are you talking about? You know, but here we are in 2022. She said, no, give me HIV over diabetes. She said, we can control that. And then you start thinking of the negative. I mean, you know, how many people get their legs cut off for HIV? And so when you put all that together, and that's just talking about those two, to me, health is so important. Imagine you can't see out of one eye. You know what I mean? Especially at our age, you know, y'all mid 40s, and all of a sudden you start getting bad health.
Who is mid 40s? Not me.
You, Anthony.
Just you.
What's
yourself.
In rebrandUS fashion? Let's define me.
43 and up, in my opinion.
43 and up is mid.
Yep.
Kim, you make the cut.
Wait a minute now, Eric. Now
that's my definition. I'm not 43 yet, so that's my definition right now. It's going to change in August, though.
So I'm in the first third. So I would say early 40s. I'm still in the early 40s.
We're in the same boat, dude. Look at Ace.
But I think health is a feeling. You know, being healthy is a feeling as well, because when you feel good, I mean, you know, that radiates through your looks, how you carry yourself, how you move, you know, how you think. You know, I think healthy is a feeling. So you know when you don't feel good, you know, your body will tell you when you don't feel good. You know that when you're not healthy as you should be.
Leonard McDonald, everyone has a season of growth, so mistakes will be made depending on what that transformation looks like afterwards is what determines what is or is not a red flag. Leonard, thank you for the comment.
Kayleen, move past that, Leonard.
Leonard, you sound like you're on your 5th marriage, Leonard.
Kayleen says early 40 to 43. Oh Lord, she gave us a whole definition. Early is 40 to 43, mid 44 to 46, late 47 to 49. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kayleen.
Oh, please. She just validated what Kim. Hey, y'all, we apologize. We can't bring the comments up. We've been calling StreamYard, the streaming service, and they have not gotten that fixed just yet. But nevertheless, thank y'all for sending y'all's comments. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Health, what does it look like to you, Eric?
I agree with what you guys are saying. It's all that stuff combined, in my opinion. Yeah, everybody, I would say it's about the medical, the medicinal stuff, and all that. That's part of it for sure. But I 100% agree with Ace says. It's about that overall quality of life. I don't want to take too much more time with this one, because I think I agree with what you guys are saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I already said that healthy is a feeling, you know, so that's all that I have to say about that. We can move on to the next subject, though, which is,
bring it on.
You know, relationships or marriages versus being single, and what are the pros and cons between the two. Anthony, since you want to call on me.
Well, you know, I was going to try to produce the show, but I go ahead and get out of this program here. I'll go ahead and answer.
We needed the hot seat for this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think that the pros and cons of marriage versus being single, was that your question?
Yes.
Well, if you married, what's the pro of being married?
Wow.
I got Kim in the hot seat.
It's got to be something.
Yes.
No, if you're single, listen. You're single. You do everything you want. If you make enough money, honestly, I can't see a pro of being married. If you make enough money being single, it's all about money. And then when you look at the spiritual side of it, the Bible says it's better to marry than to burn, because eventually you're gonna want to get yourself. So aside from that, Jesus, I don't see no benefits of the marriage life. It's all in 2000. You know what? I've seen lots of podcasts, lots of things they talk about that. They say for a man at least, it's time to get some WD-40 for that boy's seat. Am I the only one hearing this? So, but no, I
it
mean,
sounds like somebody's Uncle Earl is up under a 52 Chevy.
in 2022, are there any true benefits to being married? Especially if you make money, if you make good money. Eric, what you think? Is there?
Man, I think it continues to amplify the need for me to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a con if you're single. I'm trying to look from a spiritual and also from a growth standpoint, right? Obviously, from a selfish standpoint, there are more pros being single as opposed to being married. However, like from a growth and from a spiritual and a mental standpoint, iron sharpen irons. Hopefully, you got somebody that can sharpen you and you can sharpen them. Secondly, I've learned so much more since I've been married by myself, as opposed to me being single. Because once again, you're self-absorbed when you're single, or more self-absorbed when you're single. So you have nothing to work towards because you have nobody to sharpen you per se, right? So I from that standpoint, it's a whole lot more benefits to being married as opposed to being single. Once again, you're talking about it from a self-pleasure standpoint. Single has more of the benefits in every way.
Yeah.
I digress. Only because
I pleaded.
What?
I plead.
Wow.
So I look at it because I'm single, and I want someone, I want a partner to teach me something. Like whenever I go out, and like say if I go to a restaurant, and I go with family or whatever, and I see a couple there, and I see them across the table talking, I feel like that person is talking to their best friend.
That's what you feel.
But I'm just saying, like it's good to have somebody to bounce some ideas off of. It's good to have somebody that's gonna have your back. You kind of have to sharpen yourself, which is even harder. You have to motivate yourself. You don't have anybody, sticking a knife in you and saying, Kim, go ahead and enroll. Kim, this is what you said you wanted to do this. You don't have anybody constantly holding you accountable. You
got us.
So I can see how
you have got the wrong idea.
Single life was all peaches and cream. But there's gonna be pros and cons either way. We always want what we don't have.
Case by case basis. There's definitely some validity to the smorgasbord of ideas you had about marriage.
Yeah,
I think it's true. You right about somebody sticking a knife in you.
Yeah, you meant poking. I'm sure, but yeah.
Hey, look here. We just got a couple more minutes. We're gonna throw one more question out there. Y'all be sure to join us. Let's go to the comments real quick. Leonard McDonald's being healthy spiritually molds the health of our being healthy. Hey, Kim, can you read it?
Kim, he need to get that bachelor's degree you was talking about.
Dakiva Dean, single life is beautiful. Dakiva, I know you're enjoying it. Hey, Leonard McDonald, being healthy spiritually molds the health of your mentally, which mentally is what I think he said mentality. I don't know. Which directs the actions you take towards physical health. Latoya Jacobs, most people.
I was giving you your problem. You got it right.
I'm not, I got to switch screens because our comments aren't working. So most people don't realize the importance of their health until they start experiencing issues with their body. That's true. That's very good. Hey, look, we're gonna throw one more question out there. We thank y'all for the comments. Dakiva Dean, what's happening? We got a new one, y'all. It's always nice.
Got a new one.
We got a new one.
Welcome.
One more question we're gonna throw out there, and then Kim, you're gonna have to definitely say something about these t-shirts once again.
Yes.
What do you treasure most about y'all's culture? What do you treasure the most about the Black culture?
The derriere of the women.
Okay. Point blank.
I happen to think Black women are just so. Well, you know what? Let me clear that up.
I wish your screen would have frozen. That would have been so on point when you made that face.
I think that Black women are just beautiful and unique, and sometimes it's just amazing to sit back and admire the different skin tones, the different shapes, everything. I mean, it's truly, I think, it's truly a sight to behold. So I don't want to be like mannish with saying it like that. But
Yeah, you manage.
No way to clean
I mean,
that
so-
up.
You manage.
You know what I mean? To
And
say,
you wonder why people are getting BBLs because that's what y'all pay attention to, and that's what
Nah, 'cause we can tell.
complex about not having a booty.
Let me tell you something.
Go and buy one.
A man will look at a flat woman and admire her, and look at a BBL and laugh his tail off. Like that, those BBLs. I mean, I guess those women doing it for their OnlyFans, but men don't like it and don't care about those.
There needs to be a study done on this because I don't agree with that.
I'm telling you, coming from a man, you got 3 men on her. You got 3 men on right now. Would you
Where?
prefer a
I
woman
got 3 men where?
on her right now?
On her? Okay.
That's just like Finna and y'all. But if y'all had,
Kim lost that argument. That's the problem. You know, when people lose an argument, they start talking about the way you talk.
Right.
yeah, see, it's a delivery. It's a delivery.
I don't have nothing.
See,
See, that's the
It's a
attitude
delivery.
we started off with.
Yeah.
Janique Bird Mason, I feel like marriage with the right person definitely enhances your daily life.
Hey
Latoya
man.
says, Kim, she laughing hard. Kiva said, how y'all doing? Hey, look, we don't have any time for all of us to answer that last question.
Let me throw mine in there real quick. I'm gonna be real quick about it. Resiliency. I love our resiliency in our culture because the stuff that we've been going through as a culture, we still continue to forgive. We still continue to give. We still continue to love on each other, and we continue to thrive. We learn to thrive, shall I say? So the resiliency of the Black culture, love it.
Hey, y'all, get y'all's t-shirt. Whoever sends the most invites over the next 7 days, I'd do it right now if I were y'all. Whoever sends the most invites get your choice of a black or white t-shirt. They're for what is it? You wear it whenever you want to. We're gonna do it for we're gonna start wearing them on Juneteenth. Boy, it took me forever to think of that. All right.
And just
Hey, yo, Ace, who do we have on the show next week?
My bad, Kim.
Inbox me with your size. And just let me know. Maybe we can work out something.
You better clarify that. Inboxing with the size.
The size shirt that you would like.
Okay.
You know. And if you don't feel like, adding people, just, it's $20 a shirt. Maybe we can work out a payment plan if you need one, whatever, But we want you to support us, y'all. Thanks for the support that y'all have displayed thus far. And we look forward to giving y'all what y'all want to talk about in the future.
And when you get your t-shirt, post it on rebrandUS.
Yes.
Oh,
we got on
Shout out to Chesney. Shout out to Chesney. She mentioned the shirt when we were in Sulphur Springs helping the East End Allegiance with the Easter egg hunt. Y'all, that was such a great event, and I look forward to working with them in the future. But shout out to Chesney. She took a picture and she wanted a shirt. So thanks, classmate.
Beautiful.
Hey, yo, Ace, who we got on the show next week?
Yeah, before I talk about who we got on the show real quick, Kim, I was just acknowledging your is that, how do you say, the Hindu art on your hand?
It's henna.
Henna art is does that say Southside the realest in henna?
Drug dealers, Phyllis. Oh,
okay. Anyway, everybody. So next week we got a great group of people. We're going to really get down to the bottom of some things. So we're going to be interviewing women with fake breasts and fake butts that say they're looking for a real man. Talk about opposites attract.
Okay. We'll see y'all next week.